Hamilton, son of a whore and a Scotsman, dropped in the middle of a forgotten spot in the Caribbean. By proposition, tall enough to grow up to be a hero and a scholar. The $10 founding father without a father got a lot farther by working a lot harder, by being a lot smarter, by being self-started by 14. They put him in charge of trading route, and every day while slaves were being carted and slaughtered away across the ways, he struggled, kept his guard.
Hello, wonderful internet people, and if you haven't guessed yet, from the title of this video, I saw Hamilton. So before I start this video, I just want to say, welcome to my channel. Click that subscribe button if you want to talk more about musicals, fun, shenanigans, and books, because that's what we do here on this channel. We do shenanigans. It's fun. So thank you for watching this video. Let's get on this review because I want to see Hamilton, which is really funny because I'm a big Broadway geek. Been in theater all 4 years of high school, even before then. Huge theater person. So the fact is, I didn't even come into Hamilton like around till March. I know. It's pretty sad. Because when you're in college, if you choose to, you can live under a rock. And that's what I did. I lived under a rock my first year of college. So one day I'm just like scrolling YouTube and I see this one video about Hamilton. I was like, what's Hamilton? And so then I found some musicals. So I started listening to music and I'm like, I don't really like this music. This isn't Broadway traditional style. And it wasn't until later on in the summer when I really started listening. I was like, oh my gosh, Hamilton, I gotta see it. I haven't seen it yet, but just you wait. Just you wait. It's funny because I'm taking American government class right now, and my professor's like, how many of you have seen Hamilton? I couldn't raise my hand because I hadn't yet seen Hamilton. It's like, how many of you heard it? I'm pretty sure I was the most enthusiastic person in the room when I raised my hand. But anyway, so I'm going to start talking about this review, and I loved it so much. 5 out of 5 stars. No, wait, 100 out of 5 stars. That's how good it was. I first want to start off with the whole style of it. It's very traditional Broadway, but yet it's still really new. Like, normal traditional Broadway is like, you had like the opera age, and then you had like the Wicked, where it's like not the high opera, but it's not like Hamilton. Anyways, but then you have Hamilton, which is like rap and hip hop, and it's like really new, and it works. I think that's what actually made Hamilton really popular is the music, because I think if you just had a musical about Alexander Hamilton and that's it, and it was like some Broadway show, because there's actually a lot of musicals out there that's based on the Revolutionary War, just we never hear them because they just never hit it off. And so I think that's what really made Hamilton big. The second is the setup of the stage. When you first see, you think this is really simple, which a lot of Broadway sets are. A lot of show stage are, because you're trying to act, you're trying to sing, you're trying to dance, you can't have clutter in the way. But the floor turned. There were like circles, and they turned. And there was like a big circle, and then there was like an outer ring circle, and they turned. It was so cool how much this played into the musical. Like, especially parts where you would have Hamilton standing in the middle of the circle, but then you'd have these people like going around him in the outer circle, and it was just like really cool because they kind of represent like memories and stuff. So now I'm going to go into the review portion. Let's start. I didn't really start getting notes until like mid-act 1. So let's start with the dancing in it. The dancing was really good. Okay, the dancing it wasn't as like advanced as some of Broadway shows, but that was okay because it worked. It worked. Like, there was still a lot of dancing in it, but some shows you have it, it's like so much dancing, it's just chaos, like organized chaos on stage. With this, it had dancing, but it didn't have as much dancing, but yet it still worked, and I really liked that. It kind of made you focus more on the words and the songs and the actors instead of the, oh look, here's some random guy dancing off to the corner, oh but wait, where's Hamilton again? I was too busy getting distracted by that one guy over there. So that worked. Second, King George III. Oh my gosh, that was hilarious. I loved his part. It was so simple. Like, he didn't dance, didn't move around. He literally stood there and sang. But just the way he sang it just made it funny. Like, that's how you can tell if someone's a really good actor or not. Is that when they could literally just stand there and talk like how I'm talking now and make it the funniest thing. And that's a lot of it, the last show was, is that there were parts in it that weren't supposed to be funny, like lines that aren't funny, but the way the actor said it made it hilarious. And so the king was so funny throughout the whole show, just the way he said it, and then near the end when he kind of has that one last monologue in second act, it was just hilarious. He really added a lot to like the whole role, and like you listen to it on tape and you're like, okay, this is good, but you hear it and you see it acted on stage, it just gives a whole new element So like I said, the first song where the king sings, it's kind of like the comic relief before Right Hand Man. It's kind of like that, ha ha ha, that was funny. Then until we get to like the final, like depressing somewhat type song where it gets more to the serious. And that's what a lot of the show had. A lot of the show had a lot of comic reliefs where it was like, oh, that was really funny. And then it's like, okay, now we have to move on to the more serious stuff. So it made it a good show. It made it like the, oh, that was funny. And it wasn't just like this like dead span of just sadness. Okay, I was taking notes on my phone during this stupid spell check. I don't even know what I was writing. I was like writing about someone's dance, and all correct spell to lions, like, what is that? Apparently there was a dance and I really liked. Oh, I think it's part where Hamilton finally gets permission to marry her from Eliza's father. And he kind of does like this little dance. It was funny. It kind of like, yeah, like I said, it's those little things that add to the show and make it hilarious. And then when they're getting married, it was really funny too, because there's like this flower guy and he's like, it was kind of like one of these like, he always like the sarcasm in it added to it, because he's kind of like just like walk with the flower and just like throws it up and walks away. Like no like dramatic like how you see like, it's kind of just like, I'm here because I had to, now just walk away. And it was funny. But it does make the soundtrack sound more sense when it's live. And that's also it. You hear the story through a song, because this is also how it's very traditional Broadway. There was no speaking in it. Some musicals, like you see Wicked, Beauty and the Beast, a lot of the Disney ones have like speaking, acting, and then they have the singing. Where in a lot of your traditional Broadways, like Phantom of the Opera and such, and Les Miserables, you have a lot of the stories told through song. There's no speaking like, hey, how are you? And then you go into some big musical number. It's just clearly music, and that's how they talk and communicate through music. So basically, you hear the whole Hamilton soundtrack, you basically have the whole show. But it's the acting that makes it make sense, and that's what's cool. Because there's a few parts where I listened to the song and I didn't get it as I should have. For example, one of them would have been, that would be enough. Like, I heard the song and I got the context somewhat, but it wasn't until I saw the musical that I really got the context of what the song was saying. That's what was really cool. But the song Guns and Ships was amazing. That is just, I'm not even gonna go even more on it. It was just like so good. And I gotta give the guy who plays Thomas, the guy who plays Lafayette, I gotta give him credit. The fact that you can do a French accent and sing and rap at the same time while keeping that accent takes talent. Especially the song, when we get to the song Dear Theodosia. And like I said, you think sometimes Broadway is gonna be energetic, like dance, 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 dance. Every song, and that's not it. And you would think the songs where they're just sort of standing there like la 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 la, like it'd be like the boringest song you've ever heard of, because it's just like, this is boring, I don't want to listen to music, I just want to see the dancing. But it worked. During the song Dear Theodosia, you have Burr and Hamilton. Burr's on one side singing like by a chair, and you have Hamilton on the other side singing by a chair. And they're just singing it every time it came to the part. And it worked. It worked. There was no like background dancers and stuff. It worked that it was just like them too. They're just singing these chairs and they're singing. You can almost picture them like telling this to their kids.
Like you'll come of age with our young nation. We'll make it right for you. We'll make it work for you, and you'll blow us all away someday, someday.
I mean, but can we just be honest here? Is there really a bad Hamilton song? Is there? And just the guy who played Hamilton, just his face expressions were just so good. It just amazing. During Nonstop, especially this part where like you have all these different people singing to Alexander, for example, when Angelica's like,
Alexander, don't forget to ride.
she's like spinning on the outer circle, and then you have Eliza come in like,
You're where you are, think of where we started. The fact that you're alive is a miracle to stay alive, and that would be enough.
it's kind of like the whole like, you just watch all these people pass by in his life, and it's just so good. Oh, though I wanted to debate with my American government teacher. It's funny because he was telling us about the Federalist Papers. He's like, yeah, James Madison wrote the most of the Federalist Papers. I'm thinking, actually, it was Hamilton, he wrote 51. Do I need to quote the song here? Which is actually true, because sometimes I don't want to go like straight off what the musical says, even though it's based on the Alexander biography. Sometimes stories, you see this in books and movies, a lot of times they'll tweak little information just to add the storyline to make it like go on. But no, when I was actually fact checking it, Alexander did write most of the Federalist letters, and I wanted to say that, but I was like, no, don't do it. Now here's something you never really see in Broadway, and you hardly see in movies or television shows either. It's when they eliminate the fourth wall, and that is where the audience is. Because a lot of the times, movies, television shows are viewed as like, just like people living their average day life and you just happen to be watching. Kind of like how you would see like a two-way mirror where they can't see you but you can see them. That's kind of how acting is portrayed. But by the beginning of the second act, when Hamilton and Thomas Jefferson are having the debate through a rap battle, they eliminate the fourth wall. They're like, oh, welcome to Coming Out Tonight. And so they eliminate the fourth wall, and they did that every time there was like a debate, and it was like really cool, because it was kind of like saying like, oh look, you're a part of this, you're a part of this story, because one, when you see debates, chances are there's people watching, and second of all, it kind of brings in the whole thing how we are all just stories. And you're a part of this story that's happening right now. So that's one thing I really liked about the musical. And there was like very advanced technology known, because when they're rapping, they use microphones. And it's like, okay. They were using microphones, but I mean it added to the rap battle, so it was pretty cool. But honestly, if every political debate was a rap battle, it would be so much more fun to watch. So then we get to the song Take a Break, and if, just to let you know, I have a video about that song of me doing it. Really bad dancing, but I'm like kind of like dancing. It's really fun. Go check it out. Okay, now promotion time's over. Let's get back into the review. It was really fun because, like I said, you hear the soundtrack, you're like, okay, yeah, I like this song. But you see it and you see Philip. He's kind of just like first kind of like shy, like daddy, look, my name is Philip. I am a poet. And then he gets like really into it. And Eliza is beatboxing, and it's the most funniest thing ever. Like, it's not like that she's bad, she's so good at it, but just the way her, like, she kind of put her body into the beatboxing thing, it made it funny. It was, like, so modern in the, like, 1700s. It was so good. Okay, can we talk a minute about, this is something well known. Mariah Reynolds is Peggy. Yes. Yeah, so technically she's Skylar's sister. That's just mind-blowing. Not really, but you know. So like I said, it was like really funny, this one part, because it was that scene where the Reynolds papers come out and Alexander Hamilton, he kind of just confesses it because Jefferson threatened to expose it. And so you had Thomas Jefferson, like they're all thinking, yeah, we have this election in the bag, we're good. It's so fun because, like I said, Alexander Hamilton's just sitting there, and like the king's even like dance, like yay! Like I told you all, you people would be
back. Wait and see.
Like he's like, see, I told you all it's too hard to run a country. And then you have Thomas Jefferson. He like holding the pamphlets and he's like making it rain, like around Hamilton, like ha ha ha. And that's, I really like that scene too, because you kind of show like Hamilton the struggle he's having, because he's like, shoot. Everybody knows, my wife's gonna find out, and everybody hates it because he sees Angelica, because Angelica's there, and he's like, oh my gosh, Angelica, I gotta talk to you about this is awful, and she's like, I'm not here for you, I'm here for my sister. That's when you start to see, like, Hamilton's like, oh my gosh, what did I do? What just happened? Like, all his enemies are so happy about this, and they're all dancing around him. It really added the impact of what Hamilton was feeling, like that just feeling of surroundedness and hopelessness. And then we get to Burn, and see, it just seems like at this point the whole musical just gets depressing. It is. The whole musical is just depressing from here on out. And we get to Burn. The song in general just has a lot of impact and emotion, but then when you actually see it, she's actually burning the letters, it's just like, whoa, this is cool. But then Philip dies. And I knew this was like from history, so I knew Philip died. It was just like the gasp, was not expecting Philip to die. But when he died, it was like, I don't think I was emotionally prepared for this yet, because the acting was so good. Hamilton knew about it. Eliza did not. And so when you just see her come and she's like screaming, and oh my gosh, it was so sad. So like Hamilton's death, that was a really good thing. I thought what was going to happen is they were going to make it super depressing when Hamilton dies. I thought they were going to make it like, even like Quiet Up Town was like, I can't do this anymore, I quit. Just that was so good, and you see them come back together, and then like I said, Hamilton dies, and I was expecting like it was gonna be like really sad, focus on where you're gonna just bawl, but it wasn't. It worked, and I really liked it how at the end, like right before that shot happens, the whole world just freezes. It kind of reminds you of those times where in life where things just slow down. It feels like you're just watching from slow motion, because you see Hamilton going through like, can I really go through this? Can I do this? And he's thinking about all the people in his life. He's like, I'll see my son again, but Eliza will catch up with me someday. And then you just see he's tying in all the songs from the musical. All the songs from the musical are just coming together as one. It was just so cool, because I like it when shows do that. They reference all the songs from the musical. You see a lot of these songs where they'll sing them once in a show, but you'll never hear about them again. With this, it was kind of like all coming together, tying the musical together to make this one big finale. And so then when he dies, it kind of just ends. Which I think was, like I said, the best thing you're not dwelling on, because like I said, it's about Hamilton. So he doesn't know what really happens after he dies. He's dead. Then you get to the end, and I don't know, maybe this was confirmed somewhere, but I'm pretty sure Burr was a narrator through the whole thing. Because think of it. He starts off the song, musical, How Does a Bastard Orphan Son of a Whore? And then when he gets to the other parts where, for example, during Say No to This, he narrates the beginning, like the scene, what's going on. And then at the end, he speaks in third person, like after he shots Hamilton, he's like, I ran to him. He kind of speaks about it, like at the end, like what happened, what's going on. It's kind of, I think Burr actually did narrate most of this show in a way. So then after you kind of near the end of the musical, you fast forward to the future and then consider the present, and you see Eliza on her deathbed, and she's like going all the things she did, and it was so good. And then at the end when she dies and Hamilton's there, I'm just like give me a moment, which is so good. So it was so good because it ended with her last breath, and I really, really liked that, how it just ended with her last breath being like, she kept his legacy going up. And that's what the whole musical was really about. Like, yes, it was about Alexander Hamilton, but it was also about like, what are you going to do with your life? How are you going to make use of the time you were given? Are you just going to sit there and not do anything about it? Or are you going to try to make a difference in the world? Are you going to try to speak up? And it is. Think of it. Hamilton is a really big, groundbreaking show. Not only did it bring into rap and hip-hop into Broadway, but it brought together a bunch of different diversity of people into a show, and is making waves for how Broadway will be viewed from the future, and even more so on that. Broadway is never going to be the same after this show, because everybody's going to try to do it because they want to do it. And like I said, with it bringing such a diverse cast, that really opens up a lot of doors for other people in the Broadway community. And so that's what basically the whole musical is about. Like, how are you going to make use of time? How are you going to make a difference? And who's going to tell the story when you're done? And it's kind of just saying, we are stories, we all are stories, but don't let those stories die. Don't let what someone used their whole life to build up just die. You need to share, because for history to ever change, you need to remember the past. Eliza told his story, and think of it, historians still tell the story of America and who influenced it. Just the musical was made, like I said, 5 out of 5 stars. I could higher if I could. Just like I said, though, when Eliza died and Alexander's there, it's just like, we're fine. I'm fine. We're good. Just drowning in tears right now. Just keep swimming. Just keep swimming. Just the musical is so good, and I know I can't really say if you have a chance to go see Hamilton, go see it, because the tickets are in high demand right now. I'm lucky I got to see it, but if you have a chance to go see Hamilton, take it. Take it and don't ever rethink it. Even if you have the worst seats you could possibly get, go see it. It's amazing. You won't regret it. Go watch it. Thank you for watching this video. Please give us a thumbs up if you liked it. If you've seen the musical, let me know. If you haven't, but you really like the soundtrack and you listen to it all, tell me what song's your favorite in the comments below. Thank you for watching. Bye!